It was a bikini, of all things, that gathered awkwardly in my throat. It folded itself clumsily into a small pile and waited 7 days to come tumbling out, fully formed and thoroughly considered. After all, there would never be the chance to wear it here, in the chilly northern summer, where it rains and rains and rains. An ugly thing, scarlet red with spaghetti tie sides and Moschino stamped obnoxiously all over. What my mother would have called tacky, a word that got thrown about regularly in the phone calls I'd listen into between her and my grandmother. It stung with the fury of discontent, a way to say, not I, without really saying anything at all. But we loved it, my friends and I, speaking as it did to our shared fantasies of becoming Christina Aguilera, of a sexuality we were yet to fill out, of escape, holidays in California or Miami, or any other place that existed to us only through the distant fuzz of the television. Our hands reached out to touch it, rubbing the nylon between our fingers as if to absorb some of its potency. On Thursdays, we'd take the bus from school into town, spending the journey topping up our faces in clumsy, uncoordinated shades of dream matte mousse, heavy belts of thick black eyeliner, and Lancome lip gloss. Kate Moss was discovered on the street, you know. We knew. With our PE kits stewing at the bottom of cricket shopping bags, we darted around the city centre, from one shop to the next, a unified girl hive, with unspent dinner money rattling around in our pockets like some crummy siren's call. The 79 bus dropped us off at the side of the Adelphi Hotel, an enormous monument of gone-by decadence that always looks so out of place, surrounded as it was, still is, by McDonald's and a dozen or so eternally open Irish bars. It's rumoured Adolf Hitler did a stint in the Adelphi kitchen, and the American country singer Roy Rogers stayed there with his horse, Trigger. An article from March 1954 Evening Express reports, for an hour the horse wandered upstairs and downstairs like Goosey Gander, and finally into his ladies' and masters' chamber. Surreal history is cemented into the fabric of the city that we skipped past unknowingly. Lives that could not possibly correspond to our small, focused existence. We'd never heard of Isabella Blow, nor of her grandfather, Sir Jock Delves Broughton, who took his life in an Adelphi suite in 1942. But we did see her 23-page Tatler spread pronouncing the city, Liverpool, the jewel of the north. She compared it to 18th century London, declaring, the girls dress like peacocks or exotic birds. They're wonderful. They all wear high heels and think you're a lesbian if you wear flat shoes. She was right. There was something peculiar and alluring about these girls, a kind of exaggerated beauty that seemed to expire at the edge of the M62, a beauty that we all wanted a piece of. It was not the beauty of fashion magazines. There was no understated elegance or muted simplicity, nor the calculated, knowing excess of McQueen or Galliano. It was instead something overreaching, a unique beauty born from triumphant failure. Something difficult to name, a botched job at perfection that looks in the mirror and likes what it sees. Frankenstein's monster, enamoured with its own augmented structure, a beauty that surpasses its own ambition and then again some. As the four of us stood, carefully tracing the black lettering with our fingers, MOSCHINO, it was these girls at the forefront of our minds, the big-haired, pillow-lipped prince that we strived desperately to be, for whom Liverpool was New York, Paris, Milan, all at once, a playground of glamour and deceit. I bought that bikini, I revealed casually one afternoon in the lunch queue, like it was nothing, like I was already grown. Met with the infinite eyes of a teenage Argus, I reached for my handbag, pulled out a small bottle of Ralph Lauren Blue and sprayed each wrist, probing my own capacity for illusion. If I could get them to believe me, to picture me wearing it, what difference did the truth make?